Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is ConflctNerd Callum here today, bringing you another episode of my Transport Fever Let's Play, Let's Connect Up the Grand Canyon. So starting off this episode, I have to admit that I recorded another episode, but it didn't record properly. I don't know what happened, but OBS seemed to land up mucking up, which was unfortunate. So that does mean that I, in a sense, have lost an episode of footage. Now usually what I do is I backtrack and I go ahead and re-record the episode. However, I did such a good job on the last episode's building, I guess you could say, that I didn't really want to backtrack, and to be honest, a lot of it was repetitive stuff. So I thought, you know, let's go ahead and I'll just talk you through what I did, which actually wasn't too much coming to think about it now, and then we can go ahead and build on from there. So first of all, I went ahead and did quite a few new things. So we connected up to Castle Rock, and if you've seen the last episode, this was, I guess, the next town which we wanted to connect up to our grid. So Castle Rock here has the main bus station, and it has 3 routes connecting to it. It has Tejada and Willow Creek, which were always going to be major towns which we wanted to connect up to, and then we also have Silverton. Now, I did 1 or 2 infrastructure and road changes. Before, there used to be a road going right up the middle here, but I changed that, so I created this direct road here from Castle Rock, which connects up with Thompson, much more straight route, and it doesn't have a bus going along it yet, but it will eventually. And then we've also gone ahead and created a road from Silverton to Thompson. As I was saying earlier, you can see the outlines of the old roads here, which I basically deleted, so it was sort of in the middle of the 2 towns, and it wasn't really going to be good enough, so I thought, you know what, let's just go ahead and create 2 new separate roads, which make it faster for each individual town, and instead of just having the one road which is sort of split between the 2. So overall, when we connect up Thompson, this will make things great. We also connected up Silverton, which right now it's got a route down to, and this is the latest route I built actually, so it's sort of still in its early stages, I guess you could say. It connects up down to Boulder, and it also connects up to Castle Rock as well. So that's pretty much all the building I did actually. We added a lot more buses onto some routes as well here. So coming into this year, we've got our Boulder Jackson, which Jackson has grown so much. It's unreal how much this town has grown. And I'm thinking we're going to put bendy buses onto this. So as you can see, the population is at 420. Now remember from the first episode, this place had a population of maybe, I think it was like 51 it had, so it's just growing so amazingly, and I'm going to slow the game down in speed actually, but you can just see that houses, and this town is just growing in every single direction it can, and eventually I think it's going to connect up to Boulder, which will be interesting. I can see that happening very, very soon, because every time I come back to this place, there's just houses coming further and further along here, but eventually we are probably going to run out of room. Poor Jackson is probably just going to be too full. So with that, Jackson has grown, Boulder's grown, everywhere's pretty much grown actually. Tejada is one of the big growers as well. It is starting to fill up in, I guess, a very grid-like formation actually. Not all the roads are connected, but I'm sure they will be at some point as well. Richardson again, a lot of these towns, and Richardson is a prime example of this actually. It's in a valley, so it can't really grow out in a radial circle. It needs to grow up and down the valley, so that's going to grow in lengthways, and that's something again which applies here to Willow Creek. It's sort of growing up the top and down the bottom here, and it is another reason why I really like this map. It's because of, it's not flat, and it's got so many challenges, again with all the tunnels, the roads, that sort of stuff, but I guess with how the towns grow as well and how we accommodate to that, so it'll be interesting to see how we do with that going forward. So going back to looking at these buses and looking at the profit margins, so we've got some really profitable routes, mainly the Boulder Willow Creek, that's doing exceptionally well. Boulder Richardson, that's doing extremely well. Boulder Tejada, the Richardson Tejada, that is doing extremely well. And then we've got some other bus routes which are, I guess, just getting there slowly but surely. We've got the Castle Rock Silverton, which maybe needs its frequency upped a little, but those 2 towns are both newly connected into the grid, I guess you could say, so they're going to take a while. That is actually losing us quite a bit of money, but overall we're making plenty of money at the time being that we can go ahead and cope with that. And then we've also got the Boulder to Silverton, which again, that is I think, our newest line, so I'm expecting that to make a loss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to the other side of the map because I want to go ahead and start connecting up some of these other towns, so hopefully in the next episode we can start building a railway. So here there's a few towns that I've highlighted, I guess. So we've got here Ward's Ranch, which has a good population. It has a population of 156. We've got Dolores here, which I think that's how you pronounce it, got 138 people. We've got Arvada as well, which has got 173. So these are 3 towns which I want to go ahead and, I guess, start focusing my building on. So there's a bit of a problem though, and the problem is that there's no road in between Ward's Ranch and Dolores, and that is one road which I kind of really want to build, but I just don't know how much it is going to cost getting down this mountain first of all. I don't actually think that would cost too much, but that's one thing I want to start off with and see how we can do here. So I'm going to pick out a medium country road, and I want to come down, I guess, this wee crevice here. This crevice here. Now I realise it is really steep, but that's what I want to do, and I want to probably create a bridge. I might create a bridge more to here instead of over here actually. It just depends how things work out. I mean, there's quite a few different crevices we could do. I don't want to destroy. I mean, this is pretty stunning here actually, I think. I think this part of the map is absolutely wonderful. I don't want to ruin it too much with a road as being an eyesore, but we might have to do that unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building a road coming out of the town at the back end here. Now this road's going to be extremely expensive, but I know if we build roads in small stages, then it'll be much cheaper. In saying that, I know it's just going to be extremely expensive, but it's going to cut through the mountain quite a lot, and it's probably going to have to weave quite a bit as well. That is something that I don't want to do. Is I want to try avoid building bridges and tunnels, I guess you could say, but that's much easier said than done. So that's coming down there quite easily actually. We can build to there, no problem. It's going to be the problem when we get to the edge here. This is the big issue. So I mean, we are quite a bit the way down the hill, but this next part is going to be the most difficult part. So I can't exactly have a bridge this high because it's going to cost me so much money. So what we really need to do is sort of weave down the mountain. I just don't know which way we're going to weave though. What my thought is what do we do? Really, what do we do? I think we should weave back in on ourselves here. Maybe I'm actually going to very quick delete part of this road here, which I got like no return on, doesn't really matter. What we're going to do is we're just going to curl around here maybe, and then we're going to start to... It looks like it's sort of unavoidable here to build a bridge. I can't even build anything there though. What? Right, we'll maybe curl right back in. Can we not do that? Can we do anything? Right, that's not good at all. We can build to there, which is good. So we'll just build... Yeah, this is a good idea. This is working out not too bad. So we're slowly starting to make our way down the hill. Right, so I thought I'd speed that part up just because it was going to take a really long time, but this is the final product here. So I left here and it cost me quite a bit to build, but I really like it actually. It does fit into the hill. It has changed quite a bit of it, but I just feel it like weaves and winds, and this is what you really get, I guess, when you've got a mountain road. If you think of like the Swiss and Italian Alps, that sort of stuff. And we built this really nice curved bridge here actually, really good height. All in all, this road probably cost me a good part of 10 million to build, but one, it is much more direct than the original route, which is good, and I just really like how it looks, and it will get use, which is great to see. I had to go ahead and interestingly build this, which I'm not too happy about, so I think what I'm going to do is probably build from there to there, and then build from there to... There's just one too many roads for my liking here, so what I'm going to do is... Let's get rid of this road here because there's no need for you, and then get rid of you because there's no need for you. So I think that works out in the end there. I guess it was difficult because bridges do cost a lot. Like this bridge here alone cost me 5 million, and it's not really that large, I guess you could say. It's not very long because originally I was going to build maybe the bridge from back here right across down the middle of the screen, but that was just going to cost like 10 million, and I don't mind spending 5 million, but 10 million was just too much. Anyway, so let's go ahead and create some more buses here. So what we're going to start with is a large station, because this, I guess, is going to be the capital of this part of the map. And where is the station going to go? I don't really know, to be honest. I'm thinking I'm going to have it on this side of town, on the edge of town, on the outskirts of town. And the reason for that is because I don't want town to get too busy. I'll have a bus maybe going into town, but we'll have an out of town station. Where is that going to go? I don't really know where we can fit it in. Probably here, actually, to be honest. So it is quite a bit out of town, so I think we're going to have to do our first ever connect, just to go ahead and create a route into town, and then this will connect up to the other towns in and around this area. So we'll start off here with a bus stop here, and then what we'll do is we'll just basically make our way around town. So this place does have quite a large population, actually, which is surprising, because it's not got any transport connections yet, and that's the thing. Literally, if your town has a transport connection, then it grows. So, but that's just created a few bus stops there, so let's go ahead and get this route underway. And it looks like all but one now of our routes are in the profit, which is good to see. So let's go ahead and create a new line. So let's start off here at the... what's this place called, sorry? Ward's Ranch. So we'll start at the Ward's Ranch bus station. You'll then make your way there to Hillcrest Street. You'll then make your way around the town. We'll probably go this way around the town. Like so, into that bus stop there. Back into Hillcrest Street and then back into Ward's Ranch. And then you'll go back out again. So you'll go to Hillcrest Street, then back to Spring Street. Back to 10th Street. Back to Meadow Street, back to Forest Street, and then back to College Street, and that should all sort itself out. Though unfortunately it hasn't, which is strange, so... again, I'm not really good at this. This part I'm just not good at, and I don't know why. Like left and right, I don't know why there's like this big cut down the middle, so I'm very quickly just going to go ahead and sort this out. Right, that was a very easy fix. It was just because I missed bus lines, actually. So, but that's our first ever connect built, and this will serve this town, which has a population of 157. So I'm pretty sure it's going to grow pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and very quickly just rename this. So that is the BC Ward's Ranch, and I'm going to go ahead and build a depot out here as well, because I don't know if the roads actually, I don't know if the roads do connect up. So this road goes up here to... I don't think it does connect up to Thompson, to be honest, so I don't think this lot are all connected, because eventually I would like a bus which goes from Silverton to Thompson, then we will probably have a separate bus which comes from Thompson down here towards Ranch, but I mean that's a long-term goal, that is quite a wee bit away. So let's go ahead and add in a road depot, and we'll just add you on the outskirts of town here as well. We'll add you on this road here instead. Why not? And let's go ahead, and we're going to use the bendy buses for the first ever time, actually. So it's going to be the city bus too, and again we're going to get them in... what colour is the route? So it is a dark blue, which we don't actually have yet, which is kind of surprising. I guess we're getting to a stage now where we're going to use the same colour more than once. That's just the way it's going to be. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with 4 of these, I think. Which these cost actually near enough $1 million, so they're a good 270,000 more, pretty much 300,000 extra than the City Bus 1 actually, but they do have an extra 50% capacity. They can go up to 60 passengers, which is good. So let's go ahead and assign all these guys, and that is this town, I guess, on the move. So with that done, the next thing we need to do is go ahead and upgrade the roads which connect up, I guess... it's going to be to up here to Dolores, and then it's going to be along to Arvada. So we need to upgrade some of these roads. So I actually built this super epic road which I built through the mountain as a medium road, but I don't know if it's a medium road going from... actually, it looks like it maybe is. Oh, it already is actually. So this road looks like it's already upgraded, which is good to see. So I just need to go ahead and build bus stations, which we'll start off with in Dolores here. So Dolores is right on top of the mountain actually, which is, so really, I think this would be quite a nice place to live, and this town definitely has room to expand up until the edge of the cliffs. You obviously don't want to go over the cliffs, but I'm just thinking where we're going to go ahead and build our bus station. Now I'm thinking I'm going to build a large bus station here as well. I might as well, to be honest. So let's go ahead and build one of you guys in... I would really like to build it there, but I just don't think there's room, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build you about there, which only costs 40k, which is probably our cheapest build so far. And then we're going to build you up to about there, which that costs quite a lot of money. Don't know why it's deleting a house across the street. That's very strange. But nonetheless, that is the bus station finally built, which is good. So with that done now, let's go ahead and connect the new bus line. So I've also gone ahead and added in, I guess, an extra bus stop. Just predicting for the future here, I'm guessing the town is going to grow out this way at Green Street. So it's going to stop at Dolores, then Green Street. It's going to make its way down the hill, and then it's going to arrive here in at Upper Wards Ranch. Then it's just going to make the return journey back up the hill, which I don't know how quick this is going to be honest, but it's not got many stops on it, which is good. So I'm going to leave this in pink, and we're very quickly just going to go ahead and name this. So there we go, that name's there, and then we'll assign buses from the other ends, just because I only have one depot in action in this part of the world. This is going to use city buses, and I'm going to start off with just the 4. But what, as we usually do, you know, we'll go ahead and upgrade them over time. So that is another bus route built out here, which is good to see, and those pink buses are looking very nice actually. I like that I'm doing different colours, because I was getting a bit bored of the same old blue. It's not this blue though, it's a much lighter blue, but I really do like the look of the bendy bus. I really don't think this is going to be profitable for quite a while actually, because this town is slowly getting on the move. We'll just need to give this bus route a bit of time. So with the line here built from Wards Ranch to Dolores, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to, it looks like most of these buses are making their way up the hill. It's going to be a slow one, but as time goes by, we're going to have to give this, I guess we always give buses time to make profit, but we're probably going to have to give these buses extra time, just because this is a new region or new part of the map which we've not really explored yet. But what I've done is I've came in here to Arvada and pre-built the bus station here, which is in a really good place. It covers most of the town, quite central. I've also added in 2 bus stops, so we're going to go ahead and create this line here, which is going to connect up to Dolores. So it's going to start there, that Arvada branch, then Central Street, then 4th Street. Then it's going to, I mean, these towns are quite spread out actually, especially compared to the ones in and around Boulder. It's then going to go to 1st Street, then Valley Street, then it's going to come into the Dolores branch, back to Valley Street, back to 1st Street, back to 4th Street, back to Central Street, and then it's going to return into the Arvada branch. So again, I'm very quickly just going to go ahead and name this. So with that names, we're going to go ahead and just assign some buses onto that, and then I guess we're going to jump away from this part of the world for the rest of this episode. So you are like a lighter brown, I guess you could say, and then we're going to go ahead and buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to buy 6 actually on this, just because it doesn't have to deal with a hill. So hopefully, I mean, I don't really know how you guys will do. I don't know if I like the brown actually, but it's a different colour nonetheless. So, but off you guys go. And I guess we'll come back to you probably in the next episode and see how you guys are doing. Right now, our profit margin is sort of, it's not really going up, which is a bit of a shame actually. And the reason it's not going up is just because we are losing quite a bit of money as well as gaining quite a bit of money. So we've also spent quite a lot of money. So last year, I mean, I guess in 2003 we made quite a big profit, but the last 2 years we haven't, which is a real shame. That's, I guess, just being creating the new bus routes. But if we jump into here, we've got one which is the City Connect going around Wards Ranch, which again is going to take a while to pick up. Dolores Wards Ranch, that's new, and that frequency, that's going to need more buses near enough straight away. The Castle Rock to Silverton is not making a profit, and that does annoy me. And then the Arvada Dolores, that's new, so that is totally acceptable. So for the rest of this episode, I need to go ahead and just tweak some of the current lines we've already got back here in and around Boulder. So first of all, we're going to go through this systematically. So the Jackson Boulder, I think I'm going to replace all your guys' buses with the bendy buses, because I think that would make more sense, just so it's got higher capacity, because all these buses are coming in full, and there's 71 people waiting there, so I think it's time to go ahead and assign some bendy buses onto this route. Coming into the Boulder station, I think the Willow Creek bus, I think Willow Creek just needs more buses because it's 50 odd people there waiting to go to Willow Creek, so I think that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So we'll start off by going ahead and adding in some bendy buses, which is using this green here, I believe. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 of you guys, which has cost quite a bit of money. We're going to assign you guys onto the Boulder Jackson line. So off you guys go. Then what I'm going to do is some of the smaller buses, I guess, the non-bendy buses, we're going to pull maybe 4 of you guys back to the depot, and then we're going to assign you guys onto the Willow Creek line, I think. That's probably the best thing to do. So we've still got a mixture there on that line. The Jackson line is still, I guess, bendy buses, but also of the single smaller buses, and we can go ahead and just reassign some of them. So the frequency's at 73 seconds. The profit margin is going to be a bit all over the place for a few seconds, but hopefully it will do fine. Looking at some of the other routes, so the frequency of the Boulder to Silverton is 3 minutes, which is not very good, so I feel we can improve on that. I mean, I don't know what the demand is. What is the demand like up here in Silverton? So, I mean, no, I don't think there's really much need, to be honest. There's really not much need. So you're the bus that goes to Castle Rock, so that's the green one here which goes out to Boulder. So there's not that many people waiting on it, to be honest. There's a few people waiting at the bus stops, but I think for the time being, I do want to bring that frequency a bit lower as time goes on, but it's making plenty of money for the time being, so I think we should just let it be as it is. The Castle Rock Silverton, that does worry me though. I think it's just because the demands maybe for this route isn't that high. Castle Rock has grown quite a large bit actually, but it's still not, I guess, needing people to go all the way there just right now. Because what I think, I could always stop that route and maybe just have them go via Willow Creek. But at the same time, Willow Creek is having its own issues, so because I would actually really like to connect to Willow Creek up to Silverton, I really would. Because that would, I guess, help. Jesus, there's so many people waiting at these bus stops, so that's why we need more buses on this route, that's for sure. And that's why I do want to start building our railway next episode, but we need all our routes to pretty much be profitable, so I guess what we're going to do is we're going to put the game back onto ×2 speed and just see how things go. So hopefully, there's just so many people waiting here. 100 people waiting here, which is insane, and most of them are for Willow Creek, so it looks like some buses are starting to return into the depot here. So I'm going to assign you guys onto the Boulder Willow Creek line, and again I'll have to repaint U's. And hopefully, I'm hoping that the bendy buses are starting to take action. So where is a bendy bus? I need a bendy bus. This bendy bus here has got 60 out of 60, so this bus stop is still got a lot of people, but hopefully over time it's now going to ease up and be a little better. What I am starting to think as well actually is, ooh, a new bus, which we'll check out in a second. It'd maybe be better to move the bus station up to this end of the town, because there's no point of it all the way at this end of the town where it doesn't get used. I don't think anybody uses this bus stop at all, or bus station, but there's 2 empty bendy buses which are about to pull through town, so you should near enough pick up everybody. So I want to see how you guys do. I really do, because I think you should near enough solve all the problems in Jackson, because going along here it's going to be extremely busy. So I'm just going to follow this bus here. We're going to go into first person mode here. Unfortunately it doesn't show us a head counter, but right now it looks like we've got 5 people on the bus. And it's really smart, this town actually. So we're coming into here and we're dropping a few people off, but we're up to 11 people. How many people are on you? Only 15, so it's mainly this end of town. I think you're probably going to fill up at this bus stop here. Or just about anyway. So you were at 11, you're then going to fill up now, and yeah, you're going to fill up and you're not even going to empty the bus stop. So that bus is now full, so we'll just wait on the next bus coming along, which should be another 60-seater, which is got 8 people on it, so hopefully you should, yeah, I feel we maybe need more bendy buses on here, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's just a bit of backlog right now, that's all, so that should empty out everyone, so you do have some room, which is good. So that's that bus stop empty for the first time in a while. This bus stop has 100 people waiting at it though, which is just too much. So hopefully you should go ahead and you'll fill up your remaining 12 seats, which is good. There should be another bendy bus coming along, so you've only got 7 on you. So you'll definitely help things out and should hopefully clear the backlog. But my worry is, after this bus, I don't know when the next bus is. There's another bus coming along. It's only a single bus, but hopefully most of the backlog should be cleared through all these buses. So you've got 19 people on you right now, and we'll just jump into first person mode, which first person mode is just so much smoother now on this map, and just the game engine updates as well. So you're pulling in here, so you're near enough going to fill up, or you will fill up in fact, and then you'll pull away. And it's good to see we are gaining quite a bit of profit now, which I'm glad to see. So we're up to 30 million, and hopefully that will continue to grow. The next bus coming along has... yeah, I think we maybe need to go for all bendy buses on this route, to be honest. I really do think we do, because I think the smaller buses are just... the capacity is just not there, unfortunately, so... but this bus stop is much less busy than it was, that's for sure. But, I mean, all these buses are coming into Boulder Fill, which is great to see, and then hopefully, I guess people want to go into other destinations as well. So Jackson at this end as well. Jackson at this end's got 94 people, so I just do think, bottom line is, we need some more bendy buses. So we're going to assign you on to the Boulder Willow Creek. Then what we're going to do is we're going to buy probably 4 new bendy buses actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys are going to get assigned on to the Jackson. So that's an extra, what, 240 seats, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pull the remaining 2 single buses, we're going to pull off this route. Well, there's 3 actually, so we're going to pull all 3 of you guys. Oh, I think I did something wrong there. I definitely did something wrong. So that's you 3 guys pulled. I think I pulled the... something's wrong. I've definitely done something wrong. Right, you need to get assigned to the Boulder Jackson, so off you go. I need to pull you back is what I need to do. I should have waited though until it dropped off its passengers. But that is now, so overall on that route we've got 8 buses and they're all bendy buses, so I'm just hoping that should be able to cope with all the passengers. So Jackson's an interesting one, and because it's so close as well, it sort of needs that high demand. But what I'm thinking is we're probably going to have to start going ahead and upgrading the streets, that's the thing. So the streets are just, especially in this town here, I don't know how they're coping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start that upgrade. So we're going to need to go up to a large street in these towns, and I've got a feeling it might delete quite a few houses, but this is just required now. So let's go ahead and start the upgrades here. And it should just make movement for my buses hopefully a bit easier. It should make movement in general for just cars. Surprisingly, there's not a lot of traffic, which I don't know if it's built into the seed or not, but it should hopefully make things much easier going forwards. Compared to the last series we played, there's really not much traffic at all. A lot of people don't own private cars, which is good. It makes my life so much easier, because that was one of our big issues we were having. But hopefully over time, that should, I guess, ease up, and hopefully now we've solved the Jackson issue, there shouldn't be as many people waiting along here as there was previously. I mean, it's down to 45, which is much better than the 100, that is for sure. It seems to be a lot more people waiting further along now, but you know what, we'll leave that, because that's an ongoing issue which we'll go ahead and solve later. So jumping back up here very quickly, just before we wrap up this episode, because it is nearing an end. It's good to see that people are waiting on the connect around here, which is good, and there's a lot of people waiting in at this bus stop here, and it looks like it's the Dolores buses, so you've brought 20 people down, which is really good to see, so you're probably actually getting quite close to profit already. So you're the Dolores towards Ranch, and you're not actually losing that much, and that money, I can guarantee that loss is going down all the time. I can guarantee that, so we definitely need to go ahead and add in a lot more buses. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and buy some new buses. There's another bus coming in here actually, which I just want to see. You've only got 1 passenger on you, which is a shame, but I think I'm going to add 2 new buses just to up that frequency, you know, and to hopefully make things better. So we'll buy 2 more of you guys. We'll assign you on to the Dolores branch. It doesn't look like you buses are spread out though, that's the problem. So there's going to be a lot of people waiting up here for a while, just because the buses haven't spread out yet, but it looks like there's quite a few people using the Arvada to Dolores line, which is good. I don't think that's going to be in the profit yet either, but just give that time and I'm sure it'll be there. Yeah, so it's down to a loss of 108k, which is really good, 108,000, so it's definitely going to be in the profit very soon. It looks like Castle Rock Silverton, that is near enough solving itself, which I'm happy to see, so that should be in the profit soon. And everything is good, all the rest of the buses are near enough in the millions bar one, which is the Boulder Silverton, which again, that's relatively new, so everything's going great. Everything is really going great, so, and I'm really happy to see that. So hopefully in the next episode we can actually start going ahead and building a railway line, because that's what I want to do. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be extremely difficult to build it, but I really do want to get that started and start getting, I guess, towns connected up by rail. That's what I want to do. I want to connect up this end of the map here, Ward's Ranch, coming up here to Dolores and Arvada, up to Boulder and Willow Creek, those sort of towns going forward. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this episode up here, so thank you very much for watching. My name is ConflctNerd Callum, and I'm out.